there everyone, this is Jenny and I'm coming at you today with 6 tips for keto weight loss success. I am going to try to keep this brief to keep your attention, so let's get right to it. Number 1, track. I use Carb Manager app, which I absolutely love, and that helps me to make sure that I'm getting enough fat and protein and not overdoing it on the carb side. You can use any kind of calculator through the web to figure out what your macros should be, and then you go ahead and plug that into the Carb Manager and you track. It's foolish to think that you're going to be able to right off the bat understand and know how much you need to eat. Sometimes it feels a little bit like a puzzle at the beginning, like, oh, okay, I didn't get quite enough, and what can I eat to get 10 more grams of protein and things like that. But by tracking and using Carb Manager, you will very quickly get familiar. And I have gone through spurts where I've stopped using it, but I always find that my weight loss slows down because I am not as disciplined if I don't see it on paper. A great tip would be fill in the blanks. That's what I like to do. This morning I had my butter coffee, which we'll talk about in a bit, and then I had a little bit of a breakfast, and I know tonight's Friday date night, so we're going to have a steak dinner, so I'm going to plug that in right away now. I didn't eat it yet, but I'm going to plug it in the dinner spot, and that leaves me with a little hole in the day to know what I need to get or what I should be eating for the rest of the day to help me stay on track. I love doing that. Tip number 2 is don't skip the butter coffee. Okay, I've got a cup right here. That's what I start my day with. If you're not a coffee drinker, you could put it in tea. Chai tea would be great. You could put it in a hot chocolate. You could find some other way to get your fat. But I either do butter or coconut oil or ghee in my coffee along with heavy cream, and it can take a while for you to get out of that mindset that thinks I need to stay low calorie. Oh, I don't want to waste my day and my numbers on butter in my coffee, but it's satisfying, it's filling, it helps you throughout the day to just not be as hungry. So you could skip your butter coffee and then by 3 p.m. be starving and just shove your face full of food that wasn't good for you or wasn't low carb, and that is not going to help you out. So give the butter coffee a try. Try to find something that works to get your fat right off in the day and get you feeling full and satisfied. Number 3, and I keep looking this way because this is my list. Number 3 is add protein if you need to. Okay, so this is a higher protein diet typically. It's a high fat diet, but protein might be higher for you than you're used to. And so you might need, again, don't feel like you have to eat all your food necessarily. You might need to supplement with some protein. You might need to add some collagen peptides to your coffee to get a boost of protein. You might have a tea in the afternoon with some of that in, or a smoothie. Sometimes I do the V-shake into a smoothie because this has a little boost of protein in it. Anything to help me get full and still be satisfied and still be able to eat and enjoy the things that I'm having. The key here is enough fat, enough proteins, enough good for you stuff that you don't need, want, or desire the carbs. Number 4, use your newfound energy that you have from doing keto and get moving. Okay, so I know how hard it can be to get moving when you are a little bit overweight or a lot of bit overweight, and you are sluggish and you're not feeling your best, and then on top of it you're like, I know I just need to exercise and that would help, but you can't even get to that. I was an everyday napper prior to keto, and part of it was because I didn't sleep well. A lot of it was because I didn't eat well, and because my body was not burning fat and doing what it needed to do, and I was eating too many carbs, it was making me tired. And so I would nap. And so now every day I don't need to nap, and instead I use a lot of that time, or some of that time at least, some of the week, to do something. It might be slow walking at the beginning. It might be a little bike ride. I do 10 to 20 minutes of yoga in my living room sometimes. It could be more vigorous. It could be weightlifting in the gym or weightlifting at home, which would be incredible for you. But use the newfound energy, which does not happen overnight, and use that to help you boost your weight loss. So I say it doesn't happen overnight. Is when you first start keto, you might experience the keto flu. You might feel really junky for the first little bit of time, headaches, aches, exhaustion, things like that, and that is completely normal. Just push through. It's your body getting used to not having the carbs, and once you get over that hump, you will experience newfound energy, and that can be so wonderful. All right, number 5 tip is to find suitable alternatives. So you're doing keto, you're doing low carb, you're not going to be eating your cookies and your cakes and your breads and your pastas. However, if you find that you really want something like that, try to find a suitable alternative. For me, honestly, it's been donuts, and I don't know why. I was never a huge donut person, but it was always a nice splurge for me. So I finally gave in and bought a donut bake pan, and I found some almond flour recipes, and so actually I think hopefully later on today I'm going to experiment with making my own low carb donuts. But for you, it might not be donuts, it might be pasta and bread, and there are all kinds of alternatives, and they can get you through. And a lot of times you'll find it's not necessarily always the alternative that you desire. Like for instance, spaghetti with pasta, you might not really miss the pasta. If you have a really delicious spaghetti sauce, which is keto friendly, and you serve it over something else, you might realize that you don't really even notice or miss the pasta. And eventually your cravings will get better and you won't miss those things. But find alternatives in the meantime so that you don't give up and don't feel deprived. For me, I'm going to add a little extra on this one. For me, it's flavored coffee as well as the donuts. Hello, Dunkin' Donuts. I blame Dunkin' Donuts. It's this salted caramel is something I bought. It's a protein, a flavored protein that I can add to my coffee or anything like that. And I've tried it in different ways, but I haven't added it to an iced coffee yet, which hopefully I'll do this afternoon. But this could be something that would be super helpful because it's going to taste delicious, just like the coffees that you pay way too much money for. And it's gonna help me get to my protein, and it's not gonna throw me out of, it's low carb. There are no carbs in this. There's actually also the MCT oil in this, so it's just all around helpful for me. So if you need to spend a little bit of money to buy some of these types of containers and stuff, go ahead, because you're not spending the money on bread and chips and all kinds of other things. You are eating primarily whole foods and healthy throughout this keto diet. Anyway, you should be. Okay, the last bit of advice, it's number 6, is that if you cheat, which you probably will, let's face it, if you cheat, just hop right back on. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say, oh my gosh, this is never going to work. I'm never going to be able to do this. Usually when you cheat, it's punishment enough of itself. I cheated a couple times, I will be honest with you, and I felt horrible. I felt really sick after I ate those foods that I thought were going to be exciting and like they were so appealing, and the next day or later that afternoon I did not feel good. And then to top it off, I had to work a little bit harder to get myself back into ketosis and get myself back into fat burning mode. So don't beat yourself up. You may have, I'm not giving you permission to cheat, but if you do cheat, know that it's okay. Just go right back to the way you were eating. Remember how great it made you feel and get right back with it. So those are my 6 quick tips for keto weight loss success. I'm sure there are a ton more, but those are some that I would really offer, especially to new people starting out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more keto weight loss videos, let me know. Just like this and comment below.